Hey, we're live.
Welcome to the SNL, Scott and
Lane. Oh, I'm
show.
excited about this show, Scott.
We're super excited as we kind of literally fall into fall here. I don't know about you folks, but I actually felt a little chill in the air today. I hope it wasn't just imagined. I'm so anxious for fall to get here. And I don't know about you, Lane, but I'm just super excited about our guest today that ties right into the fall season. And we're super excited to have interior designer Jan Turcotte. Jan is a experienced residential and commercial designer right here in Orange County. She's also a certified color specialist, certified in Feng Shui. She's also an instructor in interior design at Saddleback Community College. And Jan is our Sackin-Stone team resident designer and stager. She's the one that puts the magic behind our properties when we put them on the market and create maximum exposure. So before I go any further, I think it's time to have Jan join us in the studio and tell us what can we do as we fall into fall here to really put that extra punch into our homes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Welcome, Jan.
Hey, Scott. Hey, Lane. How are you? It's nice to see you. Thank you for having me today.
Doing good. Thanks for joining us live.
So, for fall, our houses are, it's a great way to add some perk. And with all of the fires that have been happening around lately, it's a good time to maybe wash down the front of your house. And by doing that, it really brings in also a lot of new energy, and it cleans everything up, and it just makes it feel very, very fresh. And since it's fall, it's a great way to add, some new little decor items around your front door. For example, you can pick up a pumpkin and also decorate it like I did for fall. And then when you're tired of the fall look, you can take this off and you can make it more of your holiday look too. You can paint this with a bright blue paint and do snowflakes and different things like that. But then also you could paint it red and green for Christmas. And so you can use the pumpkins for mostly fall, and then for Christmas and for that time, you can use these gourds, and these can work for Halloween, Thanksgiving, as well as Christmas by adding some red decorations if you want. So you can always brighten up your front door with those nice, inexpensive way to decorate it, from picking these up at Trader Joe's or at the grocery store or Home Depot. And then also adding a new welcome mat. I mean, we haven't had a lot of visitors in our home because of the quarantine, but things are starting to lift a little bit. But also it just makes our house feel so much better. It invites the energy in when it says, welcome to my home, with your mat. And then also another way to perk up your house inexpensively is to paint your front door a new color. It adds a nice new fresh feel. For instance, see these pictures here. Depending upon the style of your home, you could do a red, you could do blue, you could do green, or if you want to be really bold, you could do a yellow. But it's a nice way to really just freshen up your front door, and without repainting your entire home. And so that's one really fun way to really just freshen up the front of your house.
Awesome. Well, I do have a couple of questions following up some of the things you mentioned regarding pumpkins. Obviously, we're ready for them now. It's the fall. It might not feel like it now. I guess Scott said he felt a little bit of a brisk in the air, but it's been really hot for me here. How long, if we're ready for pumpkins now and we can use them through the fall, we could use them through the holidays, when should the pumpkins be put away? January 1st? Is that when we're putting them back away?
Oh, yeah. January 1st, definitely. I mean, they're going to last maybe through the middle of December if you get them for right now, but it just depends upon how clean you keep them. And they do start to degrade. They kind of die on their own and they get mushy. So you want to check those out so you don't get mush on your front doorstep.
Now, would you say the white ones are the best for long-term use because maybe you can put a different color on them? Or
definitely, you can paint these with you can go to Michael's and get some acrylic paint and just paint them very easily. And so you can add orange, and you can add yellow, and you can add green. But then for the holidays, you can do a bright blue, as I said, for snowflakes. Or if you want, you can do red and green, or you can even glue things on top. Like I did with this. I used this last year and saved it for this year. And now you can just decorate your pumpkin all over again and reuse all of that those succulents and so forth. You can even spray paint it with glitter and make it more, sparkly for the holidays. So they're really, really flexible and functional, and you can easily use this anywhere. And it just adds a nice little soft, fun, soft touch to the house. Makes it feel really cozy.
I think that's great because we're also looking for activities to do at home right now too. Maybe there's not as many things to do outside of home, so we can decorate our pumpkins and continue to do so for the rest of the year. Now, when we're talking about welcome mats, are you safe to use a seasonal welcome mat? Is it okay if there's fall leaves or pumpkins on there, or would it be better to have maybe a generic standard welcome mat at the front door that just looks newer?
No, I mean, I think if you have seasonal mats, absolutely. I mean, I think they're fresh, they're fun. I mean, there's some really cute ones for Halloween. They say boo, and for Thanksgiving, they have cornucopia ones, or ones that just say Thanksgiving, we're grateful, we're thankful. And for the holidays, the holidays, it's great. You can use the snowflakes, but if you're on a tighter budget and you just want a fresh new welcome mat, you can just get one that says welcome, and you can use that all year round. So it's depending upon your budget and what you want. But I think a new welcome mat that says welcome on it is a great way to invite all of the energy into your house and to bring all of that freshness inside.
Is there a store or an online website or something that you tend to lean towards and go to more often than others for these type of things?
Target always has great seasonal things. There's also At Home that I go to up in Foothill Ranch. They have tons but online, we can basically get a lot of things online. Etsy and has a lot of fun welcome mats. I just bought a new welcome mat for our house, and I got it off of Etsy.
Oh, awesome.
I've got a quick ad, Jen. I know in our notes here you had mentioned washing down the garage and the front door, and I was actually doing an assessment outside of my house the other day, and I noticed up under the eaves and the gutters and everything, it's looking really kind of yucky, a little bit of dark gray, some spider webs and whatnot. And I'm actually going to be having a family Thanksgiving on my outdoor patio this year to work with the current situation and everything. And I noticed that freshening up the porch kind of can extend to the rest of the exterior of the home if we're going to be using those areas in our mild climate here.
Yes, I think washing down the outside of the house, I mean, with all the soot that's from all the fires around us, I mean, you wouldn't really notice it, but you need to wash down your house, and it just freshens everything up completely. And by doing that, it's part of Feng Shui. It brings in new energy and new prosperity for your home. So it freshens up the front and brings up new chi, brings in new energy. So it's a great way to freshen things up and to open up your opportunities.
And I know a lot of us are looking to end this 2020 year and start fresh in 2021. So that's a good way to do it with your home too. Yeah. When talking about painting the front door, in a perfect world, as an interior designer, how often would you consider painting your front door, and how often should you look into maybe switching up the color based on trends?
Oh, it just depends upon your personal taste, your home. And some people like to change up their front door every couple of years. I have a client that calls me every 2 to 3 years. Okay, Jan, it's time to change my front door color. What are we going to do this year? And if it's something that you change out frequently, then you can go bold and wild. But if it's something that you only do maybe every 10 years or every 5 years, then go with something that's a little more neutral, a blue or a taupe color, or even black and red. I mean, those go with lots of color schemes. So it's a personal preference. It's the style of your home. You kind of need to look at the style to figure out if something is going to look right. If you have a Tuscan style home, putting a bright red front door on your Tuscan style home is not going to look good. So you need to stay into the art, look into the architecture of the home and figure out what's going to complement it best. And also, if you live in an association, you need to watch those those guidelines carefully to make sure that your association has approved colors that you can use for your front door, because you don't want to paint your front door orange and then all of a sudden your association says, no, you can't do that, and you've got to repaint it and spend all that money again. So
that's a great tip. I mean, some associations have a small palette to choose from.
Yeah, very small.
Yeah. So in recapping really quickly, as far as the refreshing the exterior of your house, we talked about washing down the garage and the front doors. Scott added a little tip about under his patio. We talked about fall decor items, welcome doormats, painting your front door. Is there anything else to add before we maybe head inside the home?
No, I just think making your home as welcoming as it possibly can from the curb always is a great thing. It's great for the family. It's great for you. You drive up to your house and you're like, oh, I love my house. I love the way it looks. It always adds that pop, adding those, I added my little fall decor to my front door a couple weeks ago. And I was like, oh, I just love the way it looks now. And then, when holidays come, you spruce it up. It brings, a feeling of warmth and energy. And it just makes it feel fresh again. So changing it up just gives it a freshness.
And maybe even a little landscape spruce too, with some dark mulch and some colorful plants and stuff too, would also feel great. Okay, well let's head into the home, inside the home. And I know Scott, that's really his expertise there as well. So he's going to have a couple things to say about what's going on inside the home during the fall.
Absolutely, I'm excited to go indoors. And I got to say, you know what, Jan's absolutely right, and so is Lane. We tell our clients when we're searching for homes, we want you to pull into your driveway and say, I'm so glad to be home. I love my house. And I got to tell you, about 6 years ago, I painted my front door unintentionally what's now the Sackin-Stone green. It's kind of a chartreuse. And you know what? It makes me feel good, Jan. Every time I walk up to the front door, it kind of has a sense of the garden and a calming effect. And then I open the door and I come into my entry hall, and I'm always just that much more excited to get inside the house. And my entry hall actually has an accent color on the wall, thanks to your expertise. So talk to me about, as we get into fall now, we are spending more time at home. Everyone's looking with a more critical eye at their house. What are some of the things that we can do to add a little pop of color to renew that energy as we go into the fall season?
Thanks, Scott. Yeah. We've been spending so much time in our house. A lot of us now are working from home completely. So we don't really get a change of scenery and a new vision for our day to refresh us. So throw pillows are a great way to do this. They're pretty inexpensive. And so for instance, you work in your living room now and you work there all day long. And at night, that's a place where you relax. So maybe having a different set of throw pillows for the day for work, and then at night you can switch them out and put your relaxing colors around you. That's just a fun way to change up the energy in the space. And we've been in our homes so much too. We've kind of created a little bit of clutter from bringing things home from the office and just leaving things around because we're not entertaining as much. This is a great time to declutter and get those papers off the floor, get those extra boxes out of here, because energy is deadened by stuff on the floor. You need to have all your clutter away. So we want to have some real freshness, and by adding the decor elements like the orange pillows or green pillows or red pillows, those are warm, fun energy colors. Orange is very friendly, and red is energetic, and green is a little bit more calming, and so forth. So, depending upon the mood that you want to create in the room, we love fall because those are the warm colors that make us feel good. They're kind of the comfort food colors, and so forth. So when you want to cool things down or calm things down, using more of your calmer colors, the blues, the greens, the ocean colors, that kind of creates a place where you can relax. And then also, removing the clutter is a big thing. Yeah, this graphic is really helpful for the talking about energy and the personality of how we're moving forward. So anything else that you want me to expand on?
Well, you know what I really like you to expand on. We all know, and we've been talking about this on other shows with Elaine and I, how we are working from home now. Some people are blessed to have large homes. They've been able to convert bedrooms to home offices, schoolrooms for the kids. I live in a small house, and Philip and I both in the same house, both being realtors. We've had to get creative with creating work zones that are actually within a living zone. So. I found, number one, I so agree with you with the clutter on the floor, especially in small spaces. Staying organized is absolutely key. And again, I'd like your input, Jan, on how can we create that feeling of when I'm working, I'm in my work zone, and when I'm relaxing, I'm in my relaxing zone. But maybe they're in the same part of the house. If that makes sense. Like my living room has my sofa, my lounge, my recliners.
Right.
And in a corner is where I have my desk and my file cabinet. And when I'm at work, I want to be at work. But when I'm home, I don't want to be reminded of what's over there in that other zone at work. How can we make them functional and efficient, but then remove ourselves from one area or the other when we want to be in a certain mode?
Well, I mean, that's a great question, Scott. So maybe in your zones where you have your work area, set your time limits. Make sure that you're done at 5 o'clock. You shut your computer. You close your desk up. You put all of your papers in a bin and close it. So when you're sitting on the sofa, for instance, if like your office is in your living room in the corner, so then when you're laying on your sofa watching TV and relaxing for the evening, you don't want to be staring at your work stuff. So maybe it's in a closed bin, or maybe you have a Soji screen that you open up and close off that area so you don't see the desk anymore, or you don't see your work things anymore. We don't want to be reminded that we're like, if you have a workstation in your bedroom, your mind goes all night because you're still working at your office all night long. You can see it across from the bed. So it's important to keep that space covered or screened off so that you can sleep and rest and repair in your bedrooms. So closing it up and making sure that you're not staring at your work, because rest and repair is so important to make you feel alive and fresh every single day. So we need downtime. We can't work 24/7 and still feel good about ourselves. So we have to have that downtime. So managing that downtime is really, really important, and making those spaces very sacred. So
I love that. You know, and I have another question for you, because I have in my notes here, you talk about removing items can bring new energy into a space. And a quick little story. I had a landscape designer come in and give me some consulting. I'm redoing my atrium once again and my little house. And he walked in and he said, "Oh, we've got to keep everything really simple out there because you have so much going on in your living room." And I thought, I don't have a lot going on in my living room. Well, after he left, I looked around in the critical eye and realized I had, odds and ends, occasional pieces of furniture bought from like 11 different stores. And so with the critical eye, started removing and paring down about 30%. And I got to tell you, it's freeing, it's energizing, and you're right on with that. Can you elaborate on how that can work for people? Because that doesn't cost you any money at all.
No. So when we buy, it's always fun to go shopping, and now we're able to get back into the stores, and there's tons of sales out everywhere where furniture is marked 50%. So it's like, oh, I'm going to grab that table. I'm going to grab that rug. I'm going to grab those pillows. I'm going to get that lamp. But you know what? When you bring something in, you need to take something out. So my rule of thumb is if you bring at least one thing in, you got to take two things out. So because otherwise we have a tendency to have way too much. And as we've worked together before on staging homes, one of the biggest process of staging a home is the decluttering aspect of helping people realize that they need to get rid of some of their older furniture or some of their pieces that they just inherited from family. So I call those early relatives. So we have lots of early relative items around our homes a lot because we gather things from our family members, and then we forget to take other stuff out. So making your space be able to breathe and have room around it makes it feel just more spacious. You can enjoy the room more, and the energy's better.
Scott, you're living a scenario that many of us are living as far as the working from home. So decluttering for you brings in this new energy. We're talking about colors bringing in an energy. I was curious if Stipe has the time to bring up that color palette again, as far as like what colors, what different emotions strike with each color, because I'm curious to know if there's a color in there, or maybe Jan even knows off the top of her head of like a color that it just feels relaxing and calm. So because maybe that's what you need to incorporate in addition, to decluttering for yourself, Scott, because now that you're working from home, and many of us are now too, maybe that's the color that we need to lean on.
I think you're right on with that. I'd love to hear Jan's opinion on that, creating some of these colors that will create the mood that we want.
Right. So, the blue tones, the cooler tones are typically colors that are more calming. Blue is a trusted color, and it brings a lot of confidence back. And it brings the stability that we need in our lives. And, the world is covered by 80% of blue. So we have the sky and we have the ocean. So people are very comfortable with it. And it also is the #1 color of choice for clothing. So most people gravitate to that blue color. But in a sense, also, it's kind of mimics the ocean in the colors, the lighter blues, the softer blues, the darker blues, that combination. It's kind of the colors you see when you go into a spa. It helps relax you. It helps you sleep better. It helps you, it becomes very tranquil. Some people gravitate to different colors, but that is the general color scheme, the blues, bringing nature in, the blues, the greens, some of the lavenders, and just bringing nature in is one of the best ways to soften your soul and to create some serenity in your life.
I mean, I'm staring at this color psychology guide, and under navy, one of the bold words is peace.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm looking under orange too, warmth. So that's like fall. I'm sure that's why a lot of us love this season too, because these oranges and these warm colors come out. But it's just that feeling you get inside when the season starts to change and it starts to get a little cooler and these colors. Yeah. It's like everybody loves this time of year.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up this color chart, I'm realizing we look at that navy, and we've got trust and peace and order, just like Jan said, without even having been prompted. And I've got to tell you, I always thought, nature is bringing green in, but Jan hit it right on. We have the ocean and the sky, and those are huge parts of nature. So you've really enlightened me today, Jan, to realize that when I always think of nature, that blue actually is a color that is found in nature. So that's the big takeaway I've got for today.
Not that maybe you need to add more blue in addition to decluttering your living space, so that way you can work and live peacefully together. Awesome. All right. Well, let's keep the color theme going, and let's talk about new color trends or trends that we might see even coming for the remainder of 2020 and 2021. What are we seeing inside the home, kitchens? What colors are we seeing as far as trends?
Well, that's really, that's a great topic, Lane. There was an article that came out last week on September 25th in the Wall Street Journal that talked about how the white kitchen is starting to go away. People have been inside their homes for 6 months. We're tired of the same look. I mean, a lot of people have been doing the farmhouse look where everything is white and fresh. And now they're realizing that color is such an important part of their life that they really want to see some variety. So it's been trending that black and also really dark navies or blues are being introduced into the use of cabinetry or maybe in an island use, but then also pots and pans, and basically some appliances are starting to be pops of color, like the KitchenAid mixers. You can get those in different colors, and some of the cast iron pots from Williams-Sonoma and so forth, you can get to put on your stove. But it's so important to realize that color it really, really brings your personality to life. When you have a completely white interior or in gray, it doesn't bring any of your personality out. Gray is a neutralizer, so it doesn't really bring any emotion to it. By adding the pops of color, the reds or the oranges or yellows or blues and greens and so forth, that's where you get your personality. That's what starts to bring your palette alive. And you know, trends are great, but I always say, do your house to make your interiors speak to you. Do you. Don't do your neighbor, but do you. And pick the art that really means a lot from you. Like this piece behind me, it's a picture of New York City with the taxi cabs and so forth. And I just love this because it gives me energy and it gives me inspiration. And I love the design aspect that New York has brought into my life. So that's what I have here in my dining room. And so that what gives me inspiration. So you need to find something that really gives you your inspiration, that brings you to life. And this may not speak to someone else, but it speaks to me. So looking back on color trends and where they're going in your homes, blue is a color that is really being seen everywhere because there's so much unrest in our nation right now, in our world. You know, this pandemic has really been causing a lot of unrest for all of us, and people are wanting that calm. So blue is a trusted color. We wear that when we want to feel trusted and we want to feel calm. And so that helps guide us. And another thing from back in 9/11, when we had the World Trade Center disaster, during that, they noted that people were craving yellow foods because it's comfort food. They wanted popcorn, they wanted macaroni and cheese, they wanted potato chips because they were the color of comfort. Yellow is a calming, soothing color. So you know, that's a nice complement to do with blues and so forth. But people are trending toward the things that we're craving. We're craving, you know, stability right now in our lives because of where things stand.
Yeah. So somebody, let's say, because we have clients that have purchased new homes or newly remodeled kitchens that, let's say, there were white shaker cabinets within the last 1 to 3 years, and I'm assuming they're not ready to just swipe out all the cabinetry yet. But I love some of the ideas that you were mentioning about bringing in color, whether it's a KitchenAid mixer, maybe towels, or just something to just make it different and still have those white shaker cabinets, especially if they're still new.
Absolutely. A white kitchen is classic. It'll be there forever. So it is classic, and you can't go wrong with a white kitchen. But if you're wanting something new or something different, you can paint the walls a little bit different. You can add a colored pot. You can add some rugs. You can also do towels and you know, containers and different things like that, just to add
the backsplash even too.
Even a backsplash, yes, even a backsplash. So lots of ways to change it out. I mean, I love a white kitchen. It always is very classic and very clean and so forth. But people are wanting, it can feel sterile at times if there's no other color in there. So adding these little pops of color can really help. I mean, having a big bowl of fruit in your kitchen. I mean, we always add our fake fruit in all of our staged homes. So, you know, have the real stuff and eat it and feel, you know, it's very welcoming, adding that energy to your counter. You know, oranges and apples and pears, and just having that big bowl of luscious fruit right there can bring abundance in the house.
That bowl always seems to be empty in our house. We seem to go through it quicker than we can fill it back up.
Hey, Jan, on that note in the kitchen, I was just thinking, I was at a friend of mine's house the other day. They had just remodeled their entire home, actually, and been out 6 months and created their dream retirement home just right here in Fountain Valley. And Deborah was showing off in one glass front cabinet they had created. They had just taken an existing cabinet and changed out the doors and put glass. And she was showcasing a collection of Corningware that was from some aunts and grandmothers. And it had the classic Corningware design on the sides of it. And she said to me, you know, this just gives me a feeling of family and warmth. When I look at this, I just feel good. So she said, that's why I decided to dedicate a cabinet to a beloved display and collection. What's your thought with regards to that? Because that made me feel good when she said how good she feels when she looks at that every day.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, making your house talk to you is so important. Bringing the pieces that make you feel your family members that are there, and showcasing all of that. Do what you want. Don't do what others, don't do what is in the showroom over there or in your friend's house and so forth, but do what speaks to you. Make your house feel important to you in all those ways by showcasing the china from your family. I mean, I have my mother's heron china displayed in my dining room because it's special to me, because it was something that she cherished, and I love to look at the heron birds on the china and so forth. It's just something calming and beautiful. So do what speaks to you. Absolutely.
Scott, how many times a week do we hear, or we get asked, what's trending? What are you seeing? What colors are coming? Because, people are remodeling all the time. And how lucky are we to have Jan right now, a certified color expert and a professional interior designer, to just answer all of our friends, family, clients that are following us right now and watching possibly live, to answer these questions. And they're getting it straight from the source.
I think it's amazing. They are getting it straight from the source. And I know we're actually officially over our time limit, our usual time frame, not a limit right now, but we hope you're engaged and enjoying this. And we'll, with permission, we'll continue to just go a little bit over as we really tap into the amazing expertise that we have here in the studio with Jan.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. I mean, we feel very lucky. I mean, we barely went over. We're at 31:05.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. So, Jan, in recap, what I'm kind of hearing is, whether it's outside the house, inside the house, in the kitchen, in the workspace, in the dining, living, resting space, we want to just step back this fall and take a new look at our homes and feel what brings us energy, what brings us joy, and what makes us calm, what evokes the feeling we want at any given time of day, and how can we edit and maybe add kind of at the same time, whether it's colors, decluttering, whatnot, just kind of reimagine our spaces to create the moods and the feelings that we want, and really not have to spend a lot of money to do so.
No, it doesn't cost anything to clean your house. And that's one of the things. I mean, if you just go through and you get rid of the boxes and the extra papers and so forth, I mean, that's going to be probably 25% of what's around your house right now. And all those extra magazines, or I mean, a lot of people still get trade magazines and so forth, not many, but because a lot of things have gone virtual. But, something that's old and tattered, if you have something that needs sewing, or if it's kind of torn or ripped, get rid of it. You don't want that around there. If you have chipped pottery that you're eating from, that's not good energy. Don't throw it away. You don't want chipped items touching your lips and so forth. I mean, it's broken. You don't want broken things around the house. Broken clocks. I mean, it means your timing is all off. Get rid of those broken clocks.
Well, in a week when they have to change the time, right? Or I don't know when time's changing, but you're going to find out those clocks are broken pretty soon.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Dan, it's all about energy, and we've so enjoyed having your phenomenal energy here on the show with us today. How can our viewers reach out and capture some of that energy? Where can they find you when they want to hear more from you?
Oh, well, I have my my website, which is turcotteinteriors.com. They can send me an email through there, or they can call me. I can give them my phone number. I can give it to you right now. It's 949-466-6413.
Here come the prank calls.
Yeah, prank calls. No prank calls. And or else you can reach me through Scott and Lane or Sackin-Stone. I mean, they always know how to get a hold of me, and I'm happy to come meet with you and help your dreams come true and make your home all that it can be.
We'll also make sure that Stipe puts up that information on this post as well.
He will. And I would like to give a little plug for Jen, because not only does she have her thriving interior design business, she's an instructor at Saddleback College. She helps us with our staging. She has different programs available. If you're not ready to redesign an entire room, Jan will come in and spend an hour or so and do a color consultation with you, or she'll also do an edit consultation. She'll help you decide, maybe from an unbiased eye, what you can do with regards to editing around the house. And what she does for our clients when we're staging our homes to sell is nothing short of amazing. And I know that those services are available to you as a homeowner that may be staying forever. And that's what we like to do with the SNL show, is pay it forward. We want to help you.
Let me add one more too. If you need to feel like you need to change your luck or change your love life, or you're certified in Feng Shui. I mean,
That's
think
right.
about that too. You can change the entire energy of your living space, and maybe, you know, attract what you're looking for, that emotion or that goal that you're trying to reach too.
Amazing.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's all from within. You know, it starts here. So wanting that and making it happen has to be a two-way street. So, but it's important to clear your energy and make your house feel like you and support you.
I
So
love it.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes. Thanks so much, Jen. You know what? I feel energized and supported just from having you on the show today. And I hope that our viewers and those that will watch after today's show, when they pick it up after the fact, will also get the same value. So thank you so much.
well, Scott, Lane, thank you so much for having me today. I love what I do. It's my passion. I love changing people's lives and making them feel supported and love their homes. And if I can help you, I'm happy to help you. So,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for watching.